Hello. So it is now September 25th. I had the intent of vlogging like this whole month, but you know what didn't happen? That. So I'm checking in with you on this last week of September. This whole month has been like sitting my flop era situation. It's been awesome. Birthday was at the beginning of the month, so that's where the busyness kind of kicked off. And then my dad came to visit for 10 days, like a week after my birthday, and we did all kinds of fun stuff. We went to concerts and all of that. I got myself a new tattoo for my birthday. It is a cat lady. Isn't it cute? I love her so much. I'm just now checking in because I also had a really big meeting at work like last week that we prepped for like almost the whole quarter for. Went really well, so that was good. I'm getting ready to go back into the office today. So corporate Megan is unlocked. But yeah, I just wanted to check back in. I'm going to be filming the rest of this week. I'm wanting to go to the gym later. Back to deadlifting 185, which is good for me. My highest ever before I unintentionally took like almost a year off from lifting was 200. So I'm working to get back there. A big part of exiting my flop era is going to the doctor next Monday for a physical. I have been talking about this a little bit. It's been a while, but I've been on phentermine for weight loss, for not even weight loss anymore, to be honest, because my body's gotten used to like the appetite suppressant effects. I feel it was initially for weight loss, but now I'm on it for helping my OCD. But I feel like I need more help. I need consistent help with getting back on track because I just feel like I'm going in the wrong direction in terms of my weight loss or lack thereof. I'm going in the wrong direction. I am gaining weight. It's been 5 years. It was 5 years as of September 9th that I had my surgery. So yeah, I still have lost a pretty considerable amount of weight. I'm just going in the wrong direction and I can feel it when I'm like moving around society, and I don't like that. So that is going to be a big topic of conversation for me at my physical on Monday. I will probably update you on it because I want to be transparent about it, because I talk a lot about how weight loss surgery saved my life and it helped me get my life back, and it's helped me learn that I love doing so many things that I love doing now, like weightlifting, all of that kind of stuff. But it's not a quick fix, and it's definitely not a long-term fix if you don't stay on top of your health afterwards. I feel like I'm finally in a place mentally too where I can start focusing on my weight loss again. I'm not feeling the big sad quite as much as I have been for almost the past year. I've been doing a lot of work in therapy without getting too into it, because a lot of it is regarding things that I've never talked about on my channel and probably never will. But I've been doing a lot of work in therapy regarding how I've grown up, the effects of being an only child, because there's a lot of them, and I really hate how we just get deduced to being spoiled. Anyways, that's a whole video that I could make, to be honest. Being an only child, growing up an only child, the effects of it on the child, regardless of if the parents are like meaning to like affect the child or not, which mine definitely were not. But I've been doing a lot of work on that, and now that I've gotten my OCD diagnosis as well, it's been a lot of like retroactive, because a lot of stuff that happened in my childhood and like prepubescence and like early adulthood could have probably been stopped if my anxiety and stuff would have been looked at deeper. And that's why I talk so openly about my OCD on here, because I truly think that it is one of the most misunderstood mental illnesses out there. And I get it, because I didn't talk about shit when I was a kid. Like, I just didn't. But the way I worried when I was a kid was like not normal. And so that, on top of things that happened when I was growing up, because like nobody escapes childhood without trauma, I feel, I've just been doing a lot of work, really hard work in therapy for the last year. And I really think that that kind of overpowered my ability to take care of myself physically. And so I think my goal for 2024 is to be able, well, and for the rest of 2023, but specifically going into 2024, is to work on balancing those two things. I feel like 2021 through 2020 when did I get surgery? I got surgery in 2019. What am I saying? 2019 through like 2022-ish were all about me redoing or like relearning my relationship to food, weight loss, my relationship to exercise, like all of that kind of stuff, having grown up a fat kid, because that does influence all of those things. 2023 has been very much like doing a lot of very hard work in therapy. I talked to my dad about this. I was like, I have been just feeling like this weird sense of like grief, and like retroactive grief. I'm so happy in my life right now, but there still is like a sense of grief there. I think I just lost my ability to take care of myself. That's something that has always been hard for me, especially if I'm going through a lot mentally. And this is not me making an excuse. This is just simply an explanation. Like, I take full accountability for falling off track with my diet and my exercise routine. I do. I just think that my mental health played a big role in that. And I feel like now, for the last few months of 2023, which is wild to say, and 2024, I think my goal overall is just going to be get back on focusing on taking care of myself both mentally and physically. And that's where success will lie. So, yeah. Anyways, all that to say, I'm going to the doctor on Monday to talk a lot about courses of action for getting my weight back under control. Even if it's just going to a dietitian regularly, I think that's a good place to start for me right now. I like having accountability, like an accountability person to report back to who like isn't part of my life, like a third party, unbiased accountability person. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can start that. And yeah, this is gonna be like the serious side of exiting my flop era. I mean, all of it's kind of exiting my flop era. All of it's kind of serious too. But yeah, today's starting off by going into the office. So, yep. Because my dad and I went to a show at Red Rocks on Friday, and we had to leave immediately after I was done at this meeting that we had on Friday, and I had to leave all my shit there. Normally I would not be going to the office on a Monday, but here I am. I'm gonna keep getting ready. I just wanted to check in, let y'all know what's going on. If I go to the gym later, I will film it. Probably will, to be honest. I need to. Yeah, I need to. And yeah. Okay, bye! So many people ask, and I'm doing it. The red lipsticks that I frequent are either Pat McGrath's Elson, which is $40 a tube and is ridiculous, but luckily she runs sales on her personal website a lot, so I think I got this for like $20. Still ridiculous, but my favorite matte red lipstick tube. Or you can use the much cheaper CoverGirl Outlast Ultimate Liquid Lipstick in Wine O'Clock. And actually, since I'm going into the office, I'm going to be using this today because it lasts longer than that one does. So, yeah.
I had the day to get stuff done, but somewhere down the line, the stuff's not done. I wonder why. Your guess is as good as mine.
Hi. So it is Friday now, same week, but Friday after the Monday that I checked in with you the first time. I had all these plans to go be functional and stuff, but then I was like, Megan, it's the end of the quarter on Friday, which means you have a lot to do for your big girl job if you want to get a raise at the end of the year. So I've been doing that all week. I've also been playing Mineko's Night Market because I have, kid you not, when I say I have been waiting 6 years for that game to come out. That was one of the main reasons I got my original Switch in the first place, which I no longer even own. My ex-boyfriend has it. He didn't take it. He gave me money for it. But I've been waiting 6 years for that godforsaken game to come out. And now I play it on my PC, which I hear is the better way to play it right now. Anyways, it's incredible. It's everything I wanted it to be. It's cozy, it's cute, it has a good story. It reminds me a lot of Ooblets if you are in the cozy game sphere at all. I'm actually thinking, since this is going to be going up in the beginning of October, I want to start streaming, which I know I've been saying for like months. Bear with me. I've actually been thinking that I want to start streaming like every Sunday and play like my favorite cozy games. I think that would be really fun since cozy season is upon us, even though in Colorado it's still very much like 70, 80 degrees outside. We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, so thinking about doing that because I really want to show you guys this game because it's very cute and I think I'm almost done with it. I've been obsessed with it. And then I think I want to show you guys Ooblets as well because Ooblets was like my top game last year. I played it on my Switch, but it is coming out on Steam. It's already been out on PC, but it's coming out on Steam at the end or at the beginning of this month. I think probably by the time this video goes up, if not like a couple days after. Want to show you guys Ooblets because I nearly 100%ed that game. Even Avery was like, wow, I've never seen you hyperfixate on a game like that before. Ooblets is amazing. I feel like it's kind of underrated in my opinion. Then, as October progresses, we can also start like a Nancy Drew game. There's a horror farming sim coming out, which sounds really fun. Yeah, so I think that'd be really fun to start that for like the winter months at least, because as it gets colder here and as more snow starts falling, I get less functional and I also get sad. Although I will say the sun here during the winter has helped me so much mentally as opposed to where I am from, which is the upper peninsula of Michigan, where we get at least 6 months of winter and it's like brutal winter, and there's no sun. There is zero sun. It's just overcast for almost 6 months straight. So I will say I don't get as seasonal affective disordered on top of my original depression as I did or in Colorado as I did at home. But I still get kind of depressed though. So I think it would be good for me to start doing that just to hang out with you guys. And I'm talking about it like at length here because I feel like the people who watch my vlogs are probably the same people that would come watch me stream. Anyways, all this to say, it's Friday. The quarter's ending. I am feeling very well caught up on stuff, so that's good. I still have a little bit to do today, but I'm taking a break. Because I made the spur of the moment decision to get tickets to go see Bad Omens in Denver today. So me and Avery are going to go see them tonight. I get to look at Noah Sebastian, which is very exciting. Avery has no idea who they are, but she likes metal music. I feel like this is a little bit more poppy for her, but she doesn't care. She's like, I just want to go on a date with you. And I'm like, oh, this is why I love you. Anyways, yeah, so we're going to see Bad Omens tonight. Very excited. That being said, two girls who both enjoy looking cute to go places in one home, going to the same place, is a lot of work. So I'm going to work on getting my face done and I'm going to curl my hair because I took a big everything shower last night. I had therapy on Wednesday, and it was a really good session, and it was a lot pertaining to my OCD, how it's been affecting my life this whole year, pretty much, and how I didn't really notice how much it had been affecting my whole life this whole year until my dad came to visit me last week, and I think I'm just gonna like sit down maybe tomorrow because Avery's going to another concert tomorrow and I'm not going, but I'll sit down tomorrow and talk about that because I think it's a very interesting topic as it pertains to getting diagnosed with something that you are like positive you have had your entire life, and when you get diagnosed with it in adulthood, how it kind of causes grief and it causes grief and a lot of retroactive healing in therapy, but also how you kind of start realizing that a lot of your high performing ways when you were younger, if that was you, which that was me, were masking or was masking of some kind, and how when you do start going through that kind of grief and you start retroactively healing, you kind of feel like you're regressing a little bit. Like skill regression is a real thing and it sucks, because you don't want it to be happening. Believe it or not, you are not lazy. Your brain's just really fucking tired. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit tomorrow. I'm also going to clean tomorrow and probably get some like the Halloween decorations that I have here up tomorrow because that just fills me with so much joy. I will run through the products that I use really quickly because I do get asked about that a lot. So, unfortunately, my favorite daytime cleanser is the Kate Somerville Exfoliate. This is $44 for a tube. You do not need a lot of it though, which is really nice. So this whole tube lasts me a while, but if you want to just try it, they do make it in like a smaller size that you can try. I really like this. It is a very gentle daily exfoliator, which I love. I use this to help massage it in. This is the PMD. What is this called? Hold on. I found it. This is the PMD Clean Pro. This has a jade, like a heat massager as well on the other side, which is really awesome. I had one of these that did not have the jade or anything. It was just the scrubber. And it does have like vibrating functions on it, which helps get whatever it is you're scrubbing into your skin in there better, which I do find helps. But I had one of these that I got on my own. I think I got it in a FabFitFun box, but I had one of these before we moved and I lost it in the move. And funnily enough, I lost it in the move, but then they reached out to me like the next day after I realized that, oh shit, something happened to my old one. And so I was so excited when they reached out to me because I love this thing. Like it's worth the money in my opinion if you're looking for something to like zhuzh up your skincare routine. Especially if you struggle with like congested skin like I do. I feel like this helps a lot. But yeah, I love this thing. They just sent it to me to talk about. But they are not paying me to talk about this. They just sent me the product and I was like, sweet, because I already had one. So I can really vouch for this product. I really like it. They also have other like skincare products available as well. But I have just particularly really enjoyed this one. The other one I have did not have the heat function that this one does, which that is controlled by this button on the back. And so basically the jade like heats up. Go check it out. I'll have the link down below. I will say it is $179. That was what I'm saying. If you feel like you need to zhuzh up your skincare routine, if you care about skincare like I do, if you are looking for something to treat yourself with and you like skincare, highly recommend this product because also it has these little nubs on it that help really get all the shit in there. And it has bigger ones and smaller ones, and you can use them for different parts of your face. Okay. Anyways, I'm done talking. I was just making sure my mic was still on. I will see you when I see you. Okay, bye!
Each time when I come here, I am abused.
Y'all have been blowing this comment. It's Bad Omens. I'm gonna listen to Bad Omens. Okay, we're gonna do that right now. Okay, Bad Omens. Slay! What is it gonna give the girls? Same. What are we building to? Give it to me. Give it to me. Ooh, they sound hot. I'm sorry, they sound sexy, girl. Oh, la, 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 la. I need to know what they look like, because he sound fine. Images. What y'all look like? Hey, you giving me a very good omen. Okay, I'm sorry, back to the music. That's what you came here for. Oh, there go my nipples. Oh, they're hard. Oh! Ooh, I'm walking through the city, and it's dark, and I get it, and I throw it, cause it's sexy. Ah! Jesus Christ!
Hello. Hi. I filmed that like cute waking up in the morning clip, right? And I like did this, and I was going to do a really cute like transition into me being made up. I forgot to do that. I was going to go to the gym today, but I'll be honest, you guys. So I went off my birth control I don't even remember when, but I went off my birth control because I was just starting to feel super hormonal and like not myself anymore. But when I was on my birth control, and I'm just talking very candidly about this because I feel like not a lot of women / people who have uteruses talk about this. But when I was on my birth control, I didn't have a period, and so now I'm having a period again, and my body still has not gotten used to it. It hits me like a truck every single month. I honestly think I have PMDD, if I'm being honest with you, just from what I've looked into it or looked into about it and all that kind of stuff. But so it's become a whole thing, and I'm learning how to cope, and I feel like I'm getting better. But also, I feel like it's not something that like we should just have to suffer through. Like that's a whole other topic for a whole other video. All that being said, lifting and going to the gym is very, very hard for me in the 2 weeks surrounding my period. I don't feel like I need to push myself if I'm feeling like shit because I'm menstruating. So yeah, I have been very kind to myself, maybe a little bit too kind to myself surrounding that, but it's a very new thing for me again. Avery's at a concert right now, and she's just like, I'm so happy I came because she almost didn't go, and like, oh, makes me so happy. Anyways, yeah, so I've just been on my period and feeling like shit, and so I just don't go to the gym when I feel that way, but I do try and be more like active. Like I try not to mope around and like be a blob, but sometimes I do that too because let me tell you, periods fucking suck sometimes, and it's shitty that women and people with uteruses are just like expected to just deal with it and continue functioning as if nothing's going on. Anyways, so but I'm back. I didn't go to the gym. I went grocery shopping though, so that was fun. And like I said, Avery's at a concert. She's going to see Baby Metal. I wanted to like clean a little bit because some of Avery's family is coming over tomorrow, and then I have, like I said, some new Halloween decorations that I ordered to feel something when life got particularly awful a couple months ago. For me, a big part of exiting my flop era as this, I don't even really know what I'm going to make this series, to be completely honest with you, but like I do feel like I'm exiting a flop era because I feel like this entire year has just been holy shit. Big part of this for me has been nesting because I am a person that loves her space and takes a lot of pride in my space. It's a mess right now. Being able to see me in these mirrors is so funny. But like, nesting has been a big part of this for me, and creating this space, because I'm super proud to be able to be here. For me, it was like a good marker of like moving up in my life, and also the fact that I get to share it with someone that I love very, very deeply is like doubly cool. So yeah. But I mentioned Flexispot and I would have talked about this regardless if Flexispot was in this, but I mentioned Flexispot last time, and I want to mention them again because again, we could not have finished our office the way that we did without them. They're not paying me to talk about them in this video, but they did send me some extra desks in exchange for more mentions on my channel, because I truly love Flexispot as a company, as a product. I think their standing desks are some of the best that you can get for the money. I had Flexispot desks before I even worked with them. Like, I had one through work, and we finished Avery's desk setup, and I want to show it here, and I'll film it on my better camera. So yeah, I'll put that right here. Yeah, so I was finally able to help Avery set up her own little gamer Gurl laboratory corner with the Flexispot desks that were sent to us, and they actually sent us another E5 for Avery, and we were able to make kind of her own little L-shaped desk. We got these shelves and were able to hang up a lot of the artwork that she had but didn't have any space previously to hang up. They went together really well to create a little corner desk for her, and now she can finally have like a setup that actually functions for her needs. This is from an old clip that I've featured before, but it does have, the E5 has this like keypad that allows you to pre-program height settings. It also has a 355-pound load capacity, and I was demonstrating it here by sitting on it, and height adjustments are also really smooth and don't shift anything around on the desk, which is really important. The only thing that shifted was Avery's second monitor, and that's because it's a really old TV monitor. So thanks to Flexispot again for sending us stuff to help us make our office cozy and functional, and there will be a link below to shop with them. All right, bye. So yes, thank you so much to Flexispot for helping me exit my flop era with nesting and getting organized and giving me and my girlfriend like the coolest office we could ask for. But now I want to start setting up for spooky season because it's September 30th, so I'm overdue. Normally I would have everything set up like in the beginning of September, but that did not happen. So let's get into it, shall we? Okay, let me go find the box with all this shit in it. It's trapped in the closet. R. Kelly fucking sucks, but I will never stop making that joke. Okay, here I come. I'm coming back. I'm back. First off, we have a fireplace. You're currently on it, but the fireplace has a mantle, right? And there's currently artwork on said mantle, but I'm going to move some stuff around to go on the fireplace. Oh, I'm so excited to have a fireplace, guys. Haunted mansion boys to go on the fireplace. Are you kidding me? Okay. Honestly, the artwork that's on this mantle, kind of haunted also, kind of haunted looking also, so everything lights up. Like, I'm a hoe for something that lights up. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Oh, Polly's losing it. That's obnoxious. Boom! Light up Scully Boy. Very exciting also. And he has confetti, so gay. I don't know how I'm going to affix this. We'll figure it out. But it's a thing that goes on that outside your door. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? So I got that, obviously. Also, that made me think of, have you guys been seeing the thing that Target has on TikTok where it's like, I'm not a pumpkin. My name is Lewis.
I am not a jack-o'-lantern. My name is Louis.
And I really wish I had room for that because that's so fucking funny. But yeah, I'm so excited. There's so much room for activities. Oh my god. How freaking exciting. All right, let's get the table cleaned off first. So I'm currently sitting on my living room floor because it's cozy. And also because my big camera is dead and I really want to get this finished today. So I figured we could have a little floor debrief chat situation. So I guess I just wanted to like debrief a little bit because I went and saw Bad Omens last night, and a band called I See Stars and another band called Era went before them. I See Stars I didn't get to watch a whole lot of because I was getting a drink and food and a t-shirt, as one does, but it kind of sucked because, well, honestly it didn't really, because like people get sick, like that's why like in theater understudies are a thing, right? Noah Sebastian, Bad Omens lead singer, I could tell that when he came out on stage and started growling, screaming, because they opened with a song that's like all him screaming, I could tell he was sick. Like I could just, I've seen him perform live like on videos and stuff, and I could just tell he was sick. And then all of a sudden like he was singing and his voice cracked, and I was like, that does not happen as far as I've ever been aware of Bad Omens and like watched them perform live in video and stuff. Like that does not happen. So they opened with the song, like a couple songs, and then there was like a pause, and I thought somebody got in a fight or something because security was like shining lights down on like where the mosh pit would be, and so I thought they were cooling that down because that also happens, right? And they were not, at least not to my knowledge, I think, because then they came back out and Noah was like, yeah, so in a really unfortunate turn of events, I'm losing my voice. And you could really tell, but he was like, so we have two options. He's like, I don't want to quit this show because you guys saved up your money, blah blah blah, like I don't want to do that. He's like, and we're gonna keep going, but it's gonna involve a lot of this action, like having the crowd participate. And he's still like, it was amazing how much he could still do even with him losing his voice, because when he talked you could tell like he was not doing well, but also like it was just so painful to watch because I was like, Noah baby, like it's okay, like take care of yourself, go leave, like go drink some tea, eat some ginger drops, like steam your throat, don't talk to anybody. Like very much like backstage stage manager sister was like coming out from my theater days, because I remember having to do that, or having to help like actors and stuff do that backstage, and I was like, don't hurt yourself, don't fuck your whole career up for this one show, like please, because I also know how fragile vocal cords are. But they did cut the set short. It was like so conflicting, because I was like, I'm really happy that like they're trying, but I'm also just like, baby, like I want to give you a hug and like tell you that it's fine and that you're in Denver, and like of all places, people in Denver will be like, cool. I was pissed though, because even though they were like just trying and just being absolute troopers, like people were leaving and I was so angry. I was like, dudes, you come to especially like a metalcore show, like that's like a genre of music that's like pretty lyric heavy, you come to like scream the lyrics, so like why, you know, why are you leaving? And it was fun, it was like a sing-along, it was great. Anyways, yeah, people kept leaving, that was pissing me off, but it was like a great show, all things considered, and like it was really fun, and me and Avery had fun. We hadn't been out like as a couple in a really long time, and so that was really, really nice and really fun, and we just had a good time. And yeah, guys, we have a visitor. A very important guest has arrived. Look at him. he's obviously looking at something much more important. Anyhow, in the butt. We have a bobo booty. Yes, we have a kitty booty. Yes, we do. Look at these mans. Look at this mouth. Anyway, a few days ago, I was talking about how I am feeling a lot of neurodivergent burnout, basically. And I think that's been the source of a lot of my like depression and stuff this year, and why this year has felt just so different. I also know I'm 27, and for the astrology girlies, I am starting my Saturn return, which is like a big part of your life, so that also, you never know, could be playing a part into it as well. But I don't think I realized like how much I had been masking like my whole life to feel normal. And so that was a big realization. And also, like I said in the beginning too, I've been working through a lot of things in terms of like how I grew up and how that's affected me, and how some aspects of my childhood really were not what I thought they were. And that's been a big thing to come to terms with as well. It's been good. Like, I feel like therapy is kind of like exercise, in that when you are tired after or sore after, like, you know something was good and that you did something. And I feel like I've just been doing a lot of hard work in therapy, and that has been a source of a lot of my depression and just mental funk that I've been experiencing this year. Polly, stop scratching. Oh, Polly, you're stuck. Oh, baby. Oh, you can do it. Oh, you did it. Oh, I'm so happy. I feel like that's been a big source of just, my depression, and like overall, my chronic fatigue has been a lot worse than it ever has been. Or than it has been in a very, very long time this year also. And that's been very annoying. And also my workload at work, like, basically tripled, and that's been a lot to deal with on top of everything. But I'm doing it, so that's okay. But off of that, I really feel like, and I've seen a lot of people, and I know TikTok is not like the best place to go for like neurodivergent content, right? But like, I feel I've seen a lot of people talking about skill regression when it comes to adults who are diagnosed with like some kind of mental thing or neuro thing that they've probably had their whole life. And I can say without a shadow of a doubt, I have had OCD my entire life. Like, nothing about the way my brain functioned in terms of like worrying or any of that was normal. And I feel like a lot of my overperforming and things that made me outwardly like a really good student, or like a really attentive student, or really involved student, whatever, were forms of masking for me. And now that I am realizing that, and the act of realizing that and working through that is exhausting me, I can definitely feel the skill regression, like, for sure. And it's not so much that I'm worse at things. I just think my brain is just so tired, and it's just been so tired that it's been a lot. And I feel like I have a lot more issues with staying on task doing things. I have a lot more issues with juggling a lot of projects at one time. I have a lot of issues with like time management, which like never used to be an issue for me. I mean, I used to procrastinate like a lot, but it was mainly just when I had something really big to do, and my brain would be like, oh my god, I don't know where to start. But now it's like everything. And I find it a lot in our home. Like, I just don't have motivation to like do anything or whatever. And it's not that I don't want to do it. I'm not like lazy. I want to do it. I want to have a good home. I want to have a nice home. It's just like finding that energy to get it done is really, really hard at the moment. And so I'm just trying to be graceful with myself and give myself the grace that I deserve during like all of this. Because unless you've like been through that, like this kind of thing, it's really hard to explain, because on the outside it just seems like I'm lazy. And I've never really been a lazy person, especially when it comes to work. Now I've just find there's a lot more like cognitive blocks for me. And it's really frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. And I don't think I realized like how much I had like kind of pulled back into myself a little bit until my dad came to visit. And my dad and I had such a good time. Like, it was so fun. I always love when my dad comes to visit. But I do feel like sometimes now, especially that I live on my own, or I live away from home, and like I'm more just with myself and I don't have to act a certain way for anybody, and Avery allows me to be 100% myself, no matter if that's good or bad. And I think that's one of my favorite things about our relationship, is we are that way for each other. But I feel like my parents know me as like one person, and that person was a very highly masking person who was just overcompensating. But on the outside it just looked like I'm a really like high functioning person, which like I am. I'm good at my job. I'm good at what I do. Like I'm not knocking that at all. It's just like I overdid it. I overexerted myself a lot for sure. And but it just looked like I was a good student, or I was a hard worker or whatever. And I feel like they know me as that person, and now it's kind of jarring to still be treated like that person when I have been working really hard to find a happy medium between being a workaholic and an overperforming person, and just giving myself grace to like be a fucking blob, you know? And it's a hard balance to find, and I know I'll find it, but there really is a sense of grief with adult diagnoses with stuff that you've had your entire life. And even like when I first started going, like trying to see a psychiatrist to see what the hell was going on in my noodle, I saw a nurse practitioner first, and I did not like her. And it wasn't like in a doctor shoppy kind of way. It was just she was older, and I feel like she had a lot of the mindset, or I think a lot of the things in her mind about psychiatry and stuff are things that like have now been kind of debunked, as far as I know. Like she told me I couldn't have ADHD because I was a nuisance I wasn't a nuisance in school, like I was a good student, and all that, when like now we know, which I don't have ADHD, but I have OCD that often presents like ADHD, and but we now know that like the way that ADHD like symptoms present in girls is a lot different than the way that it presents in boys. And the majority of research that we have, at least in ADHD and autism, has only been done in boys. And so like, yeah, and it was just a lot of very antiquated thinking like that, and it was really frustrating. And she basically just told me that like I needed to like make a to-do list and like meditate, and that was it. And I'm like, bestie, I've been doing that. She's like, I'll send you the link for the Calm app, you get it through your health insurance. And I'm like, thanks so much. But when I did see her, I talked about my chronic fatigue, and she brought up the idea that yes, it could have been brought up by something in my body, like an infection in my body or whatever that my body kept fighting even after it was gone, which is the story that we think happened right now. But she's like, it could have also been that you were just such an anxious kid, on the inside and you didn't know how to tell your parents that, or like even subconsciously you didn't know how to tell your parents that, and it manifested into this chronic fatigue. And that I can understand and I can see, like, for sure, especially with the fact that as I've been dealing with this in therapy, as I've been working through this in therapy this whole year and other things, my chronic fatigue has been the worst it's been in over a decade. Like almost, like pretty much since I was going through getting diagnosed with it. And that I can absolutely see being correlated. And I think that realization, whether it's true or not, I don't know. At this point, I don't really care. Like, chronic fatigue and being a chronically ill person is just like part of my life now, and I don't really care where it came from. It's just like what it is. It's been in my life for over a decade, which is so weird to think about, even through losing 100 pounds. And yeah, so I think kind of, but still coming to grips with that it wasn't just a physical like thing, it was also cognitive, is a lot. Because like my chronic fatigue flipped my life upside down. Like, it flipped what I thought my life would be upside down in a good way. I'm happy I am where I am, but like it was a lot to deal with as a 17-year-old kid. And yeah, just this like rethinking that has been a lot. Yeah, I guess I just wanna, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what this series is. I just want to be open and honest about the experience of being diagnosed with like a neurological thing or a psychological thing in your adulthood that's like not depression or anxiety. Not that those aren't like valid or things to talk about. I have those too. I've been diagnosed with those since I was 16. But something that but something like OCD or ADHD or autism or whatever, getting diagnosed with that in adulthood, I feel like it feels a lot different than like getting diagnosed with depression or anxiety would in adulthood. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. Please talk to me in the comments about it. But I just want to be open and honest about it, like as much as I can. And because I feel like OCD, and I've said this a million times, is one of the most misunderstood mental illnesses ever. And so I just kind of want to put a face to it and a voice to it. There's another creator on here called Nicole Raffaye. I could be so wrong on that, but she also talks about having OCD, and it's been very comforting having her content on it as well. And so I kind of just want to pay it along, or pass it along and pay it forward and whatever. Just share my life in the meantime too, because you can function and have a good fruitful life while navigating a new mental health diagnosis that may or may not be hard to come to terms with. October is gonna be a huge month for me. I'm going to New York in October for work, and so you bet your ass I'm gonna be vlogging that, and I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I have a lot of really fun things coming up in October, and I'm gonna be much more diligent about vlogging all of it in October, because it doesn't have anything to do with family being here or any of that. Because when my family's here, I really like just spending time with them, because I get to see them maybe 1.5 times a year now. I think I'm just gonna wrap this up here. Sorry, this wasn't like the best quality visually. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for just continuing to be an amazing outlet for me. I know my vlogs don't perform as well or whatever on my channel, but I really don't care. I like doing them. They're a good outlet for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. I don't know what it's gonna look like at the end. I hope it's okay. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all so much. Be sure to be kind to yourself first and foremost. Be kind to others. Drink your water, take your meds, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.